Welcome to Our Energy Matters with Anthony Manna and Dena Marie. Aloha.
Aloha to you too. Here we are. And I want to say to everyone, Dobar don. Good day to our Serbian listeners and viewers out there. And I even gave this episode a title. I say Crystal Reading, Crystal Healing Revisited, because we've been doing that a little bit lately. And I like it a lot. And I'll tell you in just a little bit here, because people should know that this all started, this business of 60 episodes started with my being introduced to your book, which I will give the title of in just a bit, but look at those delicious crystals on the cover. And the fact that what I do is I move my way through your book. Now people will say, well, yeah, but look how thin it is. I mean, it's not that thick that you're 60. Oh boy, I read between the lines. You know me, I'm a reader and a writer. And so, what I do is I come up with a piece of writing each time that I share with Dena Marie. And because of that, we talk to each other about our spiritual lives, and sometimes even our blockages, which have become so clear to me because of being introduced to chakras. So here I say, Dena Marie, your entire jewel of a book, oracularly, I had to practice that, oracularly, titled Our Energy Matters, the Art of Crystal Reading, where seekers can, and this is the other subtitle, learn how to manifest their heartfelt intentions. Crystal reading. Your gift of a book shimmers page by page with your vital prescriptions, heartfelt guidance, and gracefully luminescent stories of folks who come to you for healing, for guidance, and for sacred solace. I cross the book's threshold, and my curiosity is drawn to your fine-tuned art, a seasoned spiritual art, I should add, of crystal readings. Here's what you wrote about your intervention using crystal reading. Quote, I am amazed at how much I know about an individual when they draw their crystals. I just love that, the idea of drawing a crystal. I mean, there's so much power in that. And I am in awe when these simple techniques take a person to a higher level of knowing. And last week you read my crystals that I chose, and yes, and I was brought to a higher level of knowing because I could find out how I was moving through, and sometimes blocked, in the throat. And not too long ago, I was making my way through your stories about the wonder of crystal healing when I gazed beyond my window into the woods, that way, into the woods, glistening with dew and early morning fingers of sunlight. That's when I found myself thinking, celestial arts, aha! And a drum beat followed by the clarion call of a bugle. Celestial arts, that's the gift of Dena Marie's healing powers. Dena Marie, Lady Grace, trades in celestial arts. Aha, let it roll. The arts of heavenly grace, a heaven-sent clairvoyance burnished by her energy, meditation, experimentation, right? Am I wrong here? I mean, this is, I just feel like everywhere I go in the book, you're wandering into a person's life, and so I said, why don't we just do a crystal empowered dance someday in those majestic woods out there? Folks, when you enter the hallowed retreat of her book, you experience the unique characteristics of the enchanting power of crystals in the light they shed on a seeker's, yours, mine, chakra energy through the magnificent prism of the crystal's colors. Chakra energy. Dena Marie, our celestial artist, will now pause to tell us about the presence of chakra energy. Aha.
This isn't that game show, is it? I'm just kidding.
No,
The
no,
chakra.
no.
Yes, I think I know, because we just had a nice conversation. So every time you and I get together, we may have something we're struggling with. That's a block. And then you and I converse. We open our hearts to one another. We kind of empower each other. We're like cheerleaders to one another. And it could be each week a bully at the gym, or it could be you being ripped off by a car cut, whatever it is. By the time we come around, we've done our prescription by opening up those chakras, which if we can get this open and this open, then this happens. And this is when you look outside and you see the beauty and you see nature and you see the celestial arts. And it's been, for you and I think the most loveliest thing is having someone you can talk to open-heartedly to. That's our that's what we do. And then we do this, but you're reading the book and it's new to you, but I talked to you about something that's bothering me. And then you kind of see me 2 weeks out, things get worse. And then I realize what I'm doing. I'm praying backwards, or I'm focusing on something broken. And then we change our tune. And then we get this again and we look up, and then magic happens.
Yeah.
It's a practice. And I keep thinking, people say, do you play a musical instrument? And I told them yesterday, I play my chakras, because if they're in tune, I'm sitting in a group of musicians taping a show, and it's the most easiest thing I've ever done. Or I could be forcing and kind of angry. Like when we pick up the phone and we're angry, what happens?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just puts a cloud over your entire being, you know, and
they feel it. They feel it. The other people on the end, they feel it.
They do. Yeah. And I went through that this week a lot with when I was trying to work out my my financial relationship with Chase Auto Finance about my new lease, and it was brutal. You know, I mean, I was in the presence of people who really didn't know what they were talking about, and I just wanted to maintain my professorial you know, being, because when I was teaching, all those years of teaching, I had to be very patient with students who were having a hard time or were resisting me, or, you know, whatever it was, you know. And I mean, over time, I learned, what am I going to do? Walk out of the classroom and slam the door? You know, I stayed and I tried to deal, you know, and to deal. And I think that the more we deal from a point of view of compassion, then we're in a good place.
And I have to be reminded when things are going south, and you can feel your energy drop and you're kind of looking down and you feel hopeless. You have to try to remember. That's why I keep little, like, life is a canvas, throw as much paint on it as you can. I keep these little things around just to say, life is good. Life is good. Look up, ask for guidance. We're talking about angels now. And then you get a tap on the shoulder by someone, you're like, who's that? And then it's the right person. And then magic starts to happen again. But if I shake my head and look down, that means these chakras are blocked. And if I don't have compassion towards myself, I could even get myself into a bad situation. So it's love of self and the person that's on the receiving end of the conversation.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think that if I could when I keep that in mind and in my heart, you know, that then it works out. And today I think I said to myself, my intention. Now, well, let's talk about that with people a little bit here, because your book is, I mean, the idea of learn how to manifest your heartfelt intentions. You know, at the beginning, I really had to kind of focus into that. What does that actually mean? It was a little blurry, but what you did, you said to me one day, you said, think about it in the morning or whenever, but I mean, I think about it in the morning. What is your heartfelt intention for that day? And it's so illuminating and enlivening, and it gives me pause. You know, it's its own little meditation, because I'll say, like, today I want to be loving, kind to anyone whom I meet. You know, and that's really important.
Well, I could say too. So you could say, I would like to resolve the situation at hand. Please send me supportive, kind people to get this done.
Yes.
And then you walk away from it. And then you're going through your day and all of a sudden it says, pick up the phone. All right. And that's when you call and that person just got on. They're new. They really want to help you. And maybe they even have information the other people don't. Who knows? But I've used that. And I even do angel parking. My ex-husband used to get out of the car. We went to Seattle. He would get out at a corner because he was so negative that we would never find parking. And one time we were parked behind a garbage truck and he's like, oh, he's so angry. And I said, just something's happening here. So of course he pulls away the garbage truck and that other person just left. So now I have Pike Place Market, front row parking. And so eventually he just got out of the car because he knew I would find it if he wasn't with me.
There's a lot of trust there in a sense, isn't there?
And if he ever wanted to have a good time, he would do the same thing. No matter what Dena says, we're going to do it because it's Saturday night and we're going to have fun. And we always did. But at least he was wise enough to know that his energy was super. He was an Aries and he was very, very confrontational. And people sensed that about him.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you met. I was going to ask you to move forward with me here because we can talk about that in relationship to the crown chakra. You know, I say in my writing, now I call forth colors, 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 colors of the rainbow. Drum roll. The celestial, heavenly art of empowering. And this is what I feel you do. You empower multicolored crystals with the force of blessed and energetic awakening. God, can we say that over again? I think I'd like to put that into a poem or a song even, you know?
Well, we need to do something here soon, even if it's something with each chakra and you do a writing in between, because it's the things that you have written, which was 2 years ago, came out so easy for you. And it's helped me paint a picture. Life is a canvas. Throw all the paint on it you can. You help me, like a guided imagery or a hypnotherapist, you help me paint pictures of my higher chakras and celestial arts. Did I ever think of that? No. You call it doses instead of chakra prescriptions. There's so many things that you've done to help reignite. This is what we all have to do. Reignite the inspiration, the imagination, and our creativity, because that's when your intuition comes in. And it tells you to make the phone call. It tells you to just walk away from a situation, which I'm being told to walk away. Just walk away. How hard is that? Sometimes walk away. But the bully person, that would be me trying to get something, you know, or make something happen. But my inner voice is telling me to walk away from something that doesn't feel good.
That's right.
Why is that so hard? Why is that so hard?
Or is not going well, you know, and the more you force it, you know, it's just like, I mean, anything that I learned through my study of mindfulness or of Buddhism is all about that, which is life is suffering sometimes, and walking away from it, I mean, trying to resist it or fight it only gives it that much more power. If you could just greet it, you know, and just say, okay, I know you're here, fear, anger, you know, and I'd like you to, you know, I want to just let you know that I know you're here and I'm going to let you go now. You know, I really don't need you at this point. So I'll see you later, alligator. So,
and then you go make a lovely lunch, or I go for a walk in the woods, or you do have control over the way you spend your time. That's all, really. And who you hang out with most of the time, and your health. So focus on those things. And then I think the other stuff, just like a light bulb goes off. You're like, why didn't I think about that? And then it turns out to be the solution to whatever that thing was.
Yeah, but it takes, you know, it is a practice.
Every day. And that's why reading something positive, turn off the television. I look at sunsets because last night I needed one. I needed to look up, and it was the easiest way for me to go to the beach, even though I was tired and the weather was icky. And as soon as I left, I felt alive again. You know, so you have to make your life full of the things that will lighten up expand your light.
Yeah, I love that.
The news is never, ever, because you have no control over anything that's going on.
I know. The news, especially now because we're moving into that political terror called voting.
It's not going to serve you. I guess you know what I did? My friend gave me back my Rick Steves. He's this guy that travels to Europe. So I went to France last night.
Oh, okay.
I got my DVDs back. So I traveled to France. It was great.
Yeah, good for you. I hope you enjoyed the journey.
I did.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just think that it's it is a practice, and it is, for me, the practice is a lot about meditation. You know, the fact that I put myself, you know, as I came to meeting you today after a kind of turmoil about something that went on in an appointment we had that never materialized because they didn't tell me all the information. And I was like, you know, and I just kind of, I felt like I put myself in a different place, you know, and it would be like when I say here the crown, the the crown chakra, the seventh chakra, you call about clear quartz crystal, moonshine, right? And
This
also,
is one of my favorites. Look at this one.
yes, yes. You
My
know,
friend
and
gave
I mean,
that.
that's so transparent, you know, and I think that when I started reading about the crystals, and then I start looking at them on the cheat sheet, it just it's kind of like a breather. It's kind of like giving yourself the quality of those crystals, because then I hope people are listening to this, because it was so important for me to go to pages 26, 27, and 28. For example, clear quartz that you just showed, right? Amplify spirituality, connection, and meditation.
And that's how it started with me, is just knowing that if I wear a certain stone, it helps me remember. So
Yes.
all last week I wore rose quartz all last week, and then the chain broke, and I thought, oh, maybe I'm good. So I can, and I did. I made a lot of changes in the last couple of weeks about how I should be treated and stuff by a boss. But I think that, you know, that's how it started. The power stone, you said, like that tiger's eye. There are days that you need a tiger's eye, and there's days that you need grounding. I need to get, gosh, I've been so busy. Like today was the first time I was in the woods. I need to be around trees more often. So I'm just going to take my blanket out there and lay on the ground.
That's wonderful. And, you know, so I mean, like, once again, when I go through pages 26 to 27 or 28, I'm thinking to myself, all right, this is where I need to be. You know what I mean? Like, I needed to be there today because I wanted to be grounded. And I realized that, no, I don't have the crystals, but I can imagine them in my presence, you know, to give me that kind of energy. I look down to moonstone promotes intuition, empathy, and lucid dreaming. The empathy I liked. I needed that today, you know, for myself, in order to show it to others.
Before you make the phone call, you're going to have to come from here and here. And just see if it changes, you know, the energy around the situation. And maybe everything is just a test, just to see how we handle it. You're a fire sign. And you have had throat chakra issues your whole life. So when people take your power away, you're at a point where it really makes you angry.
That's so true.
And you think about a lion's pissed off, what's going to happen?
A lion is going to attack. Oh boy. Okay. So anyway, I hope that it's so nice to, in a sense, you know, improvise off of the script, as we just did again today. And I think that I want to keep exploring the crystals, but I also like moving into their significance, as we did today. And I hope we can continue doing some of that again. The trick is to think of yourself as a musical instrument. I know you remember writing this, keeping your chakra perfectly in tune with one another. Chakras perfectly in tune with one another, creating balance and harmony. Let those crystals glimmer their way into your chakra energy fields. And that is just what we said, you know. You know, I'm realizing too that there are crystals over in Don's studio on the other side of this log cabin. There's a huge crystal there. I'm going to take it and bring it over here for a while and stare at it. Anyway, folks, if you want to move closer, we have to end now and get back to the reality of empathy and joy. All right. want to move closer to Dena Marie's wisdom, then listen to her weekly radio show. She was talking about a show. It's called Lift Your Spirits. It's on 1150 AM KKNW with Benny, her producer, right? Her website is dena-marie.com, where you can find out about how to access the radio show. And also, there's a lot of information about what she does as a teacher and a healer. She's also very active on Facebook, Daily Chakra Insight into Chakra Energy Blockage and Prescription. We did that today. We just got through thinking about that. And a startling photograph. She lives on an island on the West Coast, and the other day I was just like, I was like this, oh, because I used to live on the East Coast, and now I don't.
If you notice, it had phosphorescent. There was a video, and you could see the actual phosphorescent sparkling in the water.
Right, I love the movement. The movement was just constant, and I remember that one. It was Dawn and I took 2 months, and we went down to visit our friends in St. Augustine, Florida, and we stayed in a balcony overlooking the sea, and it was like, thank you for this energy. I appreciate it so much, and it lifted my spirits. My website for an interview with Dena Marie is anthonymannabooks.com. It's MANNA. So go to my website's media section for the Podbean podcast interviews with Dena Marie and other wonderful people in my life, authors, illustrators, etc. And then my website is also for a lot of parents come by to consider reading and writing with their young children, with their tweens and their teens. And that's what I'm all about. And now it is time to say goodbye to everyone out there, and also to you, and have a great time. And we'll talk in a week's time.
Bye, Anthony Manna.
Goodbye, Dena Marie. Bye.